Get ready to journey back to the sands of Egypt and beyond. If you think you know, The Mummy returns, think again. From epic dangerous stunts to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's first movie role, to scary pygmy mummies and behind-the-scenes secrets in London, this movie is packed with surprises. We're diving into facts, hidden details, and wild stories that make this adventure sequel unforgettable. Grab your map, hold onto your hat, and get ready. These Mummy Returns secrets will blow your mind.
Fact number 1. The Mummy Returns was filmed only 2 years after The Mummy. After the first movie became a huge hit, the studio moved quickly to produce a sequel while audiences were still excited about the adventure. The setting of the movie reminded people a lot of Lawrence of Arabia with its large open spaces and deserts. Fact number 2. The movie marked the very first feature film role for Dwayne Johnson. At the time, he was mainly known as a professional wrestler, and this film introduced him to Hollywood audiences as the Scorpion King, who then went on to become one of Hollywood's top draw cards at the cinemas. Fact number 3. The CGI version of the Scorpion King near the end of the film became famous for looking unfinished and unrealistic. Over time, it has become one of the most talked about examples of early 2000s computer graphics. The infamous digital effects of the Scorpion King were rushed and completed only 8 days before the film's release, but it helped kickstart The Rock's future as one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. Fact number 4. The story takes place about 10 years after the events of the first movie, showing that Rick and Evelyn have settled down and started a family. Also, audiences loved the chemistry of the two leads, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz, so much they now return in a 4th installment of the Mummy franchise, which is in the works and estimated to be released in 2028.
Fact number 5. Brendan Fraser performed many of his own stunts during filming, helping give the movie its energetic and adventurous feel. Injuries aren't exactly rare on movie sets, particularly action movies. During the filming of The Mummy Returns, Brendan Fraser suffered several serious injuries while performing intense action scenes and stunts. These included a torn spinal disc, cracked ribs, and damaged knees. The injuries left him dealing with pain for years after production ended, and they were one of the reasons he stepped back from doing as many physically demanding action roles following the film. Fact number 6. Rachel Weisz trained extensively for her action scenes. She practiced stunt choreography and weapons training so her character Evelyn could convincingly fight alongside Rick. Rachel Weisz, Evelyn, and Patricia Velasquez, Anxu Namun, trained for 5 months for their final fight scene and performed it without stunt doubles. Fact number 7. The character of the Scorpion King was inspired by elements of ancient mythology and desert warrior legends connected to ancient Egyptian storytelling. Like space-themed movies or pirates and plot settings of the Roman period. Stories set in the sunny desert or under the moonlit sky of such a vast, open, unpredictable sandy space have always drawn in moviegoers. Fact number 8. Because audiences were interested in the Scorpion King and the huge following and growing fan base of The Rock, the character later received his own spin-off movie called The Scorpion King, which was part of a great transition from the wrestling world to the movies. Fact number 9. At the time it was made, the film had a very large production budget of about $98 million, which was huge for an adventure movie in 2001. Regarding box office success, despite mixed reviews, the film grossed $435 million worldwide and was the 7th highest grossing film of 2001. Fact number 10. The sequel was directed by the same filmmaker who created the first movie, Stephen Sommers, helping keep the same style and tone. Excited sequel order. The studio called director Stephen Sommers to request a sequel the morning after the original Mummy movie opened. They knew they had caught lightning in a bottle. A unique universe and lore that audiences loved. Fact number 11. Rick and Evelyn's son Alex, played by Freddie Both, quickly became a memorable character because he was clever and constantly escaping danger throughout the film. Both, who played Alex O'Connell, was a huge fan of the first movie and saw it over 30 times. Fact number 12. Although many scenes use studio sets, the filmmakers also used real desert locations to help capture the atmosphere of ancient Egypt and remote ruins. Fact number 13. The film became a massive success at the global box office, earning more than $430 million worldwide. Fact number 14. The main villain returns in the sequel. The mummy villain in The Mummy Returns, known as Imhotep and played by Arnold Vosloo, is memorable for his incredibly smooth and hairless appearance. Interestingly, this wasn't just makeup or special effects. To maintain the character's slick look, Arnold Vosloo reportedly shaved his body twice a day during filming. While it might sound like a strange detail, it showed a real level of dedication to keeping the character's distinctive on-screen appearance consistent throughout the movie. Fact number 15. During the story, it is revealed that Evelyn may actually be the reincarnation of an ancient Egyptian princess, which adds a deeper mystical connection to the past. And mystery and adventure themes always go hand in hand. Fact number 16. Large and detailed sets were constructed for locations such as temples, ruins, and the legendary oasis of Shir, which gave added realism to the prominent special effects and graphics technology used in the film. Fact number 17. The movie mixes several genres together, including adventure, fantasy, horror, and comedy, which helped it appeal to a wide range of viewers. Fact number 18. One of the most important objects in the story is the magical bracelet of Anubis, which Alex wears and which leads the characters toward the Scorpion King's pyramid. Fact number 19. The movie was released in May 2001, right at the start of the summer blockbuster season, when big action movies usually premiere. Fact number 20. Together with the first film, The Mummy Returns helped shape the style of early 2000s adventure movies and inspired later treasure hunting stories, like the Pirates of the Caribbean series. Fact number 21. As mentioned earlier, The Mummy Returns featured the first major on-screen role of Dwayne Johnson as the Scorpion King. Even though the character doesn't have a huge amount of screen time, the role came with some surprisingly difficult challenges. One of the biggest was that the Scorpion King's dialogue had to be spoken in ancient Egyptian. Learning and performing lines in such an unfamiliar language would be challenging for any actor, and it was especially impressive considering it was Johnson's very first film role. Fact number 22. One of the most memorable scenes in The Mummy Returns takes place during the exciting opening sequence in London, where the heroes battle newly resurrected mummies while riding on a classic London double-decker bus. What makes this scene even more interesting is that the production used real vintage buses that matched the time period of the story. To make the setting feel even more authentic, the advertisements placed on the sides of the buses were also designed to reflect the era. These small details helped create a convincing and immersive atmosphere for the film's dramatic opening. Fact number 23. One of the most memorable moments in The Mummy Returns comes during the climax, when the heroes are chased through the oasis by the terrifying pygmy mummies. These small but aggressive creatures quickly became a standout part of the film's action and horror elements. Interestingly, the novelization of the movie expands on their origins and gives them more backstory, explaining more about where they came from and why they guard the hidden oasis. Fact number 24. One of the memorable moments in The Mummy Returns takes place when the heroes rush to the British Museum in an attempt to stop the villains early in the story. However, the location seen on screen wasn't actually the real museum. At the time of filming, the British Museum was undergoing refurbishment, so the filmmakers used University College London as a stand-in location instead. Thanks to careful filming and set design, the building convincingly doubled as the famous museum in the final scene. Fact number 25. Filming adventure movies often means traveling to different locations, and sometimes that can come with unexpected challenges. While working on The Mummy Returns, Dwayne Johnson experienced a severe case of food poisoning during production. The illness was so intense that he reportedly lost around 10 pounds and later described it as one of the worst experiences of his life. Even so, he continued working through the difficult filming schedule. Fact number 26. Another exciting scene in The Mummy Returns takes place at Tower Bridge, where the heroes make a daring escape by jumping across the bridge just as it begins to rise, all while being chased by their enemies. To film this dramatic moment, the production crew was given permission to close the bridge for about 20 minutes. However, the closure quickly caused a major traffic jam in the area, and officers from Scotland Yard reportedly warned the filmmakers that they could face arrest if the disruption continued, forcing the crew to shorten their filming time. Fact number 27. Hydration protocol. Due to intense heat, everyone on set was required to drink a specially created rehydration beverage every 2 hours. Fact number 28. Ardith Bay's fate. Director Stephen Sommers originally planned to kill off Ardith Bay Oded Fehr in the climax, but changed his mind because he liked the character too much. Fact number 29. Missed opportunity. Freddie Both turned down a chance to play a part in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone to be in this film. Fact number 30. Ancient history. The opening scene is set in 3067 BC, a significant jump back from the 1920s setting of the first film, where you see the first glimpse of the Rock or Scorpion King going into battle.